up, guys? This is Yuji-kun here for Clockface, bringing you a Love Life Eli Waifu deck. My friend ElChadrock here is going to profile his Eli Waifu deck for you guys. So, hope you guys enjoy his Eli Waifu deck build, so take it away.
Alright, that's it. It's just that card. No, alright, so I like to be a little trolly when it comes to my builds. So that's exactly what I went for when I did Eli. So, let's start with the level 0. So, at level 0, we do run 4 of the Summer Festival date Eli. Basically what this does is at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may reveal the top card and put it into the waiting room. If it is a music character, you can move it to another open position on the center stage. So as long as you don't have something blocked, as long as you only have like 2 characters in the center or something like that, you can go ahead and move her along. Next we have our beaters. We have 3 of the Marching Girl Elis. Basically what happens is if you have another card or another character with Eli in the name, she gets an additional 1500. So that pumps her up to 35. So obviously really good if you have another Eli on the field. Speaking with pumping things up, we have 3 of the backup dancer Eli. And what she does is if you have 2 or more green characters, she gets an additional 1000. So just between these 2 alone, you're sitting at about 35. 100 power, not including assist, just right off the bat, which is pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Alright, next is one of my favorite cards in the set. I run 3 of the Great Idea Elis. Basically, this card has a lot of fun mechanics. It's a brainstormer. Pay 1, tap, look at the top 4. Obviously, if there's a climax, you choose a character from your clock and swap it with the top of the deck. But the first ability is where it's really fun. So when this card gets placed placed onto the stage, what you get to do is you take the top card of your opponent's stock, put it in the waiting room, and you get to choose one and basically put it in there. So you kind of just manipulate the stock of a opponent, which is kind of what this deck revolves around because it has a lot, like I said, it's kind of trolly. I like to troll, so it's got a lot of trolly mechanics. And lastly, for level 0, we do run 3 of the Glass Garden Eli. Yeah, see, thumbs up for trolls. Hit a like for the troll. No, anyway. All the other music characters get 500, so all of Eli, pretty much all of Love Live is basically music. So she's a global 500, which is good. So overall, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, we run 16 level 0s. And that's it for that. And then next we move to level 1. So level 1 we have a couple of ones. We run 1 of the Forever and Ever Eli. Basically if you have if the number of music characters you have is 3 or more, she gets an additional 1000. So it makes her 7k. And she has Encore. So 1/1, 7k if you basically have a decent board. And Encore. So top card of the deck goes to clock. Not bad. We also run 1 of the Heartbeat Elis. This is a personal choice. I really like this card because as an assist, all the cards in front of it get 500 and a level. So it kind of adds a little, kind of stops suiciders and things like that because I know a lot of level 1s can have those. But also if you tap her, you can give additional 1000 power to a music character. So it's a personal preference. I personally really like it, and that's why I run it. Next, we run only 2 of the Sweet Fairy Elis. These are another ones that have Clock Encore. Basically what they do though is when you swing at your opponents, you get 500 more power depending on how many cards they have on the field. So if they have a full board, it's an extra 2500 on top. So if you have, say, both of those level 0 assists in the back, she's a 65 plus another 25, making her an easy about 9, if I did my math right on that. So it's a nice way to swing over some heavy beaters, and she's got Encore, which is nice. All right, next, we run 3 of the Dressed Up Elis. These are nice because of Climax combos, which we do run. And Climax combos with a special chocolate. Basically, when she swings, you pay 1 if that Climax is in the Climax area. You get to look at the top 4, basically pick one of those characters, and pick a character out of those, and then bring it to your hand, put the rest in the waiting room, and she gets an additional 2k power. So not only is the Climax a 1k1, which is this guy right here, a piece of chocolate. But not only is it a 1k1, but also you get to kind of salvage a little. And, you know, plus an extra 2k. So it's always really good. And lastly, we do run 4 of the light blue umbrella Ellie's. These are really good because they're basically when they get played, they get an additional 2,000 power if the number of other green characters you have is 2 or more. So obviously, if you haven't noticed already, this entire deck is green. So literally, as long as you have 2 or more characters on the field, you play her, she's getting an additional 1,000 or additional 2,000 on top of whatever pumps, assists, things like that. So for level 1, we run 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. We run 11 level 1s. So there's that. Now we're getting to the fun trolley. Ooh, that went flying. That was a new trick. All right, now we're getting to the fun stuff. So as I said, we deal with a lot of manipulation. So we run 2 of the Door to Our Dreams Ellie's. Now what this does, it's a backup. It's a 3k backup, level 2 obviously. But when you use it as a backup, she gets the ability where your opponent has to mill the top 3 cards to the waiting room. So you back something up, they have to mill 3 because we like to troll people and make them suffer. And then next, which is now becoming one of my new favorite backups, we run one of the moment now is the best. This backup is really funny, especially in an Ellie deck, because what this does is that the number, basically it gives 1,000 power for every character you have with Ellie in the name. So if you have a full board, this is a 5k backup. So good luck, friend. I'll just literally leave it at that. All right. So, and lastly for the level 2, we run, now this is where probably a lot of people are like, why would you run those? But this, once again, I like to manipulate and I like to make people feel sad. So we run 4 of the Christmas date Ellies. Now, they're only 7k level 2s, not the best as far as power goes, but they do change into the level 3, which is this, which we're going to get to in a minute. Basically, it's a pay 2 and you put this into clock. So that's really its change ability, and then it does have another ability where you can tap 2 of your characters and choose one of the characters. When they reverse something, you can basically put the top card of the deck into stock. So it's a good for stock pumping if you need some additional stock, but it's mostly there just for the change. And so for level 2, we are only running 4, 5, 6, we're only running 7 level 2s for that. And then we get to level 3. Now, when I said the change was necessary or fun, this is why. Because I do run 4 of the A Present For You Ellies. Now, they're not the greatest when you read them, but like I said, we're here to manipulate stock and make your opponent miserable. So, what this does is if the characters you have with music are 3 or more, she gets an additional 1,000, so making it 11. She does, and her other abilities, if you pay 1, so if she came out by a change or from the hand, so it could be either or, you pay an additional 1. And all of the cards in your opponent's stock go to the waiting room, and they have to put that many cards from their deck into their stock. I love that because it's total blind stock. They have no idea what's there, and it's great on refreshes, let me tell you what. Because then it's a total mind game. It messes with everybody because they don't know how many climaxes they have, and it's good. It actually also makes people mill really hard, and that's what makes me laugh. So, like I said, it's not there for power, but it's there definitely to manipulate. And then lastly, we do run 4 of the Happy Maker Ellies. When she's placed on the stage, I could shoot the number of other Ellie characters you have is 4 or more. Basically, put the top card of the deck into stock, so it's another add stock. But also, you can pay 1 when she's played. Becomes a clock shoot, so whatever she reverses, that goes straight to your opponent's clock, and then you could pay 1 and choose one of your other characters with Ellie in the name, and also give it an additional 1,500. So obviously our 8 level 3s right here, they're not the strongest you'll ever see, but you'd be surprised at just the little bit of manipulation and clock shooting can do to totally ruin someone's day. And lastly, we get to the climaxes. So climax-wise, we run a little bit of a plethora here. So we run 3 of the We Are a Single Lights, 1k1s. I don't have anything like Climax combos with it in the deck, but gold bars are always good because you can always put those back into your hand, which is awesome. We run 3 of the piece of chocolates, which was the Climax combo with the dressed up Ellie. And those are also 1K1s. And then it wouldn't be a deck made by Chadrock if we didn't have a +2 soul. So we have 2 of the Looking Back at Memories. I like this spread because we have the Climax combo. We got gold bars to constantly try to get climaxes if we don't have them, to where if you trigger it, you can put it back in your hand and then use it later. And then +2 soul, because I feel the deck doesn't have a lot of overall power, but with a lot of the way the climaxes are set up, you can definitely get some extra oomph or get that extra soul that you need to really push someone over the edge with all the kind of manipulation you do in the deck. So 3 gold bars, 3 bags, and 2 souls. So it's a nice little spread, so extra stock if need be, goes to hand, and just some extra oomph as far as power goes. But that's it for my Ellie deck. We hope you enjoyed it.
Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in to my friend Chadrock's Ellie Love Life Waifu deck. So we will do more Love Life Waifu decks more in the future. So I need a few more Love Life Girls waifus out there. So if any of you guys have any ideas or comments or suggestions, please give us a comment and a like and subscribe below. Until next time, we'll see you guys again.